Hello and welcome to day one of Summerween. We are in a strange hotel room in West Edmonton Mall. Welcome. There's a volcano and a jacuzzi, and the water comes down like a waterfall. And these things above my head while I was sleeping, it felt like they were gonna land on me. So as usual, Summerween has started at the tail end of our vacation. So today we're doing shopping, we're going to the water park, and I'm reading No One Was Supposed to Die at the Wedding by Catherine Mack. I read the first book in this series the first day of summer, I think it was the first day or the second day of Summerween last year. Summerween's a week-long readathon started by Gabby, and it's about reading like mysteries and thrillers and horror books. There are Instagram challenges, there are reading challenges. I didn't prepare any of that beforehand, but I do know that this one fits for one of the challenges because it has the night sky on the cover. So in the first book we had Eleanor, who's an author, and she was going on this author trip with her ex and a whole bunch of other authors, and somebody was threatening to kill someone on the trip. Definitely not a cozy mystery, but a lighter mystery. And in this one, they are going to a wedding, and also the book series she's been writing, and the focus of the first book, has become a movie, and they're filming it, and there's a wedding that's taking place like while they're doing that. So she's hanging out with the person who plays her, or her main character, kind of the same person, in the movie. And she also has somebody that she's dating in the first book. I've got a good amount of the way in, and I like that it's pretty much the same pitch as the first book. Like, a lot of cozy mysteries start with a murder at the beginning, and then the main character is like an amateur sleuth and is trying to solve it. But in the first book and this one, it's more about the threat. Like, somebody is sending messages that somebody's going to die, and so first they have to solve that. And then in the first book, it's like somebody did end up dying, but not exactly who and how you expected. So I think this is probably going to go the same way. I think this first vlog is going to be quite short because, you know, we're on vacation. But I have ordered crumble cookies for us to try later. And I don't know if I should bring this to the water park. I brought my e-reader, but I don't want to have to pay for the digital copy. So I don't know what I'm doing. Like a drowned rat, but had a great time at the water slides. I haven't been down water slides in years, and it was a little bit scary. The wave pool was really fun. It was fun because none of us have been to Edmonton before, and all of my friends growing up always talked about going to the mall and going on the water slides. I was like, that sounds crazy, water slides in the middle of a mall, but it was really, really fun. I got my book so wet, but I got 200 pages in. I don't know if I have that much to say about it, actually. I feel like I'm just having a fine time with it. I don't have any real thoughts to share. The first one that I read in the series, I remember having so much fun, and it does still have those qualities. Like, it's direct to reader, there's a bunch of footnotes, it's very self-aware, like it's saying, oh, this footnote isn't most important, and you know, stuff like that. Anyway, I'll continue reading that, and I brought my crumble cookie cutter all the way from home because we're in a city, the rare city with the crumble cookies. So I don't know who Benson Boone is, but he has a cookie at Crumble Cookies. But the sad part about the weekly crumble, not that you really care, or maybe you do, is all of the flavors this week, the 1 week that we're in the same city as a Crumble Cookies, it's just a repeat of all of the ones we've tried before. And we've only been to Crumble 3 times ever. So it's like the apple pie one, it's the cornbread, it's just like M&M and chocolate chip, and then a birthday cake. Maybe because we're coming on the same week of the year, because we always go on Liam's birthday trip around this time of year. It's funny because we usually go to the coast and we do a bunch of like outdoor activities, or we go camping or something, and Liam's lungs cannot handle that. So we were like, oh, let's just go hang out in the mall. But then we spent the whole day like climbing stairs and ladders and things. But I think he's okay. They have a couple like premium cookies though. So I ordered those, the Benson Boone one, and then there's like a brownie, which I think I'm gonna like. It's an hour later. My teeth might be stained from my strawberry lemonade. This is the second box of crumble cookies that we ordered. The first box is right here. Why? No idea. Ooh, take a look. Liam's getting closer. We've eaten 2 of these before.
Yeah.
So you want to try Benson Boone's cookie?
Yeah.
Do you know who Benson Boone is?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Looks like mint and chocolate to me.
Good texture. I think I liked it.
This isn't the Benson thing. It is.
I've shown them. Next is the s'mores brownie.
There's a lot of different textures in there.
Yeah, I could do without the graham cracker. Now let's just take a bite of the cornbread to remember how delicious it is.
Just to think there's a brownie on a road somewhere right now. I'm just waiting for someone to put the brownie in their mouth.
Yeah, someone's gonna show up to a delicious.
Or like they're gonna get home, it's like in front of their driveway.
Yeah. This I rated, I think, only like a 7, and then I couldn't stop thinking about this cornbread cookie when we went home. I love it.
What's the fourth one?
Just a chocolate chip.
That was okay. It's kind of boring.
Okay, thanks for joining us for our
Crookie. Our crooked crumble.
crumble cookie review. Our favorite was the brownie.
Yeah.
It was?
Wasn't it? You like the Benson Boone?
I don't know. I liked it.
To know my ball's the only one that didn't go in the water this entire game. Clapping, anybody applause? And welcome to day 2 of Summerween. This is my first time updating you, and it's 10 o'clock at night.
On to the intercom and update you as soon as we get more information, but at this time,
are we gonna die?
Currently the airport is closed in Kelowna, so that could push us to depart out a little bit later.
Okay, there are very few people around, so I'm gonna go ahead
Except for Liam enjoying his
and update you. I thought that I would have more time to update you throughout the day today, but we had what we thought was a late checkout at the hotel, but then we had to scramble and leave. And then I couldn't update you. Like, West Edmonton Mall is the noisiest place I've ever been. There was not a pocket that I could stop and talk. So I did finish this. One book was done on the first day of Summerween. I liked it. It was the kind of book that had like multiple theories. There were multiple people trying to solve a crime. There were multiple deaths in it. And every once in a while there'd be a character who was like, I solved it. This person did this and this person did this. But they were always wrong. Someone else would come up with a theory. They'd be wrong until it was the answer. So it was kind of like red herrings, but it wasn't actually red herrings. There was really good wedding vibes. It was set on an island. They were out of power. So anytime something bad happened, they couldn't access the cops, which is why it was fun that all of the authors and various people who were there related to the film, they like had mystery, history in their life. So they figured they could solve the crime, but then they couldn't. It has the same like quirky POV that the first book has because it's the same character. Pretty lighthearted, but still like deadly circumstances. There were fun activities that the characters were doing leading up to the wedding. Ultimately, I'm gonna give it 4 stars. The first book I gave a 5. This one I could have done without like the romantic kind of jealousy angle. I don't think the book necessarily needed it. So that is everything that I read on the first day. I passed out last night. And then today I've started history lessons. We walked around West Edmonton Mall for the 4th day in a row. My recommendation, if you're gonna go, is like 2 days is plenty. You can do everything in those 2 days. We were just kind of like tired of it by today, and we're not going home until the evening. But anyway, we did a lot. We walked around, we did lots of activities. We even went to the gym so we could shower before going to the airport. And now we're headed home. I would say I'm like a third of the way through history lessons, but I'll give you a proper review when I get home. In the morning. I left my like little dinky like $5 tripod in the hotel room apparently, or it's in one of the bags or something. And then we got home and I pull this out, this giant tripod, and Rob goes, "Oh, you found it? How would I have brought a 3-foot tall tripod on vacation without you ever seeing it? Like, how would you not have noticed? I have this giant tripod with me." I'm tired. This vlog now has to be 3 days of Summerween. There's definitely not enough substance, and I could push myself and I could like finish a book right now. Normally I start out Summerween so well. I'm always on vacation, but this time I'm just so tired, and it makes less sense. It makes no sense because I didn't have to drive. I think history lessons is interesting. My only critique of it so far is, I have my Invisalign in, is that they're saying people's names, the author is saying people's names way too often. And I get it because it's like a mystery novel and maybe it's appealing to people who like can't remember characters' names, especially when we have multiple points of view, because we have the woman who it's her colleague who died, following her, but we're also following the detectives, one that she's like falling for, and then this woman detective and her like family life and all this stuff. So I get it in that regard, but like the sentence will be like, James walked over to the table and sat at James's desk and pulled out the papers and handed it to Ayla. Ayla said, "James, give me those papers in a different order." James went back to his desk and opened up the drawer, and then James grabbed the papers. And I'm like, okay, hey, noisy boy.
I'm getting like all stuff open, my bad.
That's actually really important at 2 o'clock in the morning. Is it because you wanted to show them? We went to a store called
Men Are From Mars.
and he got
Montreal
manly things.
Canadians to clean my golf clubs.
And then also like a mitt for his club. And then something else.
Towel.
Is Liam singing?
Yeah.
The sunset when we left, and the sunset when we were flying, and the sunset when we landed, it was like all the same sunset. It was so beautiful. This is actually our first time on a plane together, all three of us. Oh, and I got it's not first class, but it's like premium seats. I got our seats at the front of the plane, and there was like this flight attendant who was like, "What can I get you?" and like gave us like glasses of ginger ale, and the rest of the plane didn't get that. Where is my makeup remover? I don't know, but I'm halfway through history lessons. Okay, Rob's too noisy for me to film. No. Changing the garbage bag is also really important at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna finish the book tomorrow. Maybe I'll read one more thing. I'll make it up to you tomorrow. It's day 3 of Summerween. I am feeling refreshed. I'm lying. I'm lying to you. I was gonna pretend like I'm awake and feeling great. I'm tired and very sore. When we did the water slides, I think I got like some whiplash a little bit, and I had this pain in my upper back like for the rest of the night, and I think I was like kind of hunched over and really overcompensating with my chest, and now my chest hurts so bad. I have the worst muscle pain in my chest. But you might be wondering, Kayla, is this the moment that you're gonna lock in and really read and get through a bunch of stuff and tell us about it? No. In fact, it's already 1:30 and I haven't really read much. And it's Liam's birthday tomorrow. So today we're going out and getting him some birthday presents. We're currently at Golf Town. I'm gonna get him a new bag and I think a spider putter, which is something he's been asking for. I'm not sure I even know what that is, but we will find it. I am still 2/3 of the way through this, and I think it's interesting and contrasting to a lot of, this is another like lighter mystery, and I kind of wish that I had picked something horror instead. So I don't know if I'll have time today to add a horror book in, or if I should pause this and finish. I don't know. But it feels very similar in tone to the last book that I read, except for the fact that the person who, well, there's someone who dies at the beginning. Daphne doesn't like the person who's dead, and usually the person who's dead is somebody who's really like beloved, and that's why the people in the book want to solve the murder, especially is because this person, you know, was a great person in the community or whatever. But in here, she doesn't like Sam. He's one of the other professors. She like has bad vibes with him, but he texted her right before he died. That's something you learn at the very beginning, and it was like a passage from a book that she owned, and she then notices is missing from her bookshelf. So she's like, why would this man who I barely ever interact with would have texted me something so cryptic? So that's what ignites her interest. She is a professor at the school, but she's also experiencing like microaggressions. People assume that she's a student, so that's an element of the story, and people like are trying to sabotage her career and don't take her very seriously. It's interesting that they put her in green on the cover because she's known multiple times in the book to be wearing this like purple jacket. It's like her staple thing, and what one of the detective guys notices about her as he becomes the romantic interest in the story. Anyway, I'm liking it, and I just want to make sure that next I read something that's horrific, I think. Maybe gory. I don't know. Rob's already in there looking for the things, so I should probably join him.
A little chunky, a little big, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't feel like he needs that much
This is the one he sent
room.
you a picture of. There's 3 different colors. Flat stack tailor made.
Should we get the one with the moose on
That's
it?
Ogio if you want like that.
Oh.
And then the other one, Cobras are down there.
I like the ones with the patterns.
Yeah.
I like that one. How much is that?
$250,
How much is the other one?
$300, $375, depending on what you get.
Hmm. He wants this, but he's a lefty,
Yeah.
so he can't have it.
So he like this is a lefty here, for example.
Okay. You want to go play? Okay, we secured the bag. Check it out. He's gonna be so excited. And now we're going somewhere else. My bra's out. Hi. I'm only wearing this today because all my clothes are being washed. My kind husband woke up this morning and started doing all the laundry from our trip, which is great because I've really slept in. I've been sleeping like crazy. Every single day of our trip, I didn't wake up till like 10 a.m. It was kind of concerning. And now we've turned this into a little date. Can you see where we're at? We're at a lobster truck because there's a lobster truck. And back when I worked at Sweet Legs, Rob would come and we would have lunch together sometimes, and we would go to the lobster pot. And now it like parks other places. You have to like track it down where it's gonna be. And we noticed it was right by where we were gonna be today. So we're back to our, I don't think we haven't had this in 4 years. 3 years? How long has it been since I worked at Sweet Legs? I'm gonna let you decide one of the books that I read for the readathon. So I'm gonna put up on the screen a couple of the horror adjacent. Some of them are more like horror fantasy, or the wolf one is more like literary, I think, and is like one of those ones that there's like a bigger metaphor. So these are a couple books that I have at home that I'm deciding between for one of my next reads. And then if you want to recommend me a thriller, I have not read a 5-star thriller this year, but I haven't read that many thrillers. If there's one that you just know that I would love, please let me know. If there's one you're convinced is like the thriller of the year that I'm gonna need to get to, please let me know about it. It's got to have like a great twist or just really entertaining things going on. I am struggling to even find thrillers that I'm interested in reading, so I need your assistance if you wouldn't mind. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm asking a lot for somebody who isn't delivering a very good vlog, but if you would be so kind, if you got to this point in the video and all of the struggle to even get to day 3, I would love your advice. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Cheers.
All right, my friends, I'm gonna go ahead and call the vlog here. I finished my book, and now someone is violently ill in my house. I don't wanna name names and shame and make anybody feel bad. I'm just folding laundry because all the laundry's done. So I'm gonna get that done. I just spent an hour scrubbing the bathroom. Scrubbing the bathroom like it's never been scrubbed before. You can probably see how I look. Had to throw away the bath mat, putting the shower curtain in the wash, took apart the toilet to scrub every nook and cranny. I've never seen anything like what just occurred in my bathroom. And I think that was just a sign that we're done. We're done. Summerween is starting out a little different than normal, and I need a break. I mean, I was just on vacation. I don't know, walking like 20,000 steps a day in a very humid mall just wasn't the most relaxing time of my life. But I did get to read some books, and that's good. And I was going to move on to some horror, and I was going to tell you the options that I have, but I just can't read anything disgusting right now. And these seem like they're going to be disgusting. And so I've changed my mind. I don't need to read a book a day. It's fine. Hopefully tomorrow turns around. History lessons, the good thing is this is another 4. I have another 4-star mystery. And I think that definitely tickled my mystery itch for now. And I don't necessarily want to read anymore. I want like a really like not high action, but like an intricate, like psychological thriller. That's what I'm in the mood for now. And a horror, I think I'll be in the mood for a horror like tomorrow or the next day. History lessons was like really good as far as the mystery component. It led you in the right direction. It revealed certain things about characters along the way. It was a perfect size cast. And like I said, it mentioned the names a lot, so you're not going to get confused by anything. And I've said before, it was more in like a romantasy conversation or fantasy romance. The checklist of things that I want are following academics and intelligent people who have a lot of, what's the word? I don't know, like self-confidence or self-reliance or just like self-awareness, are very solid in their character. I like people who are written like that. And I could imagine this turns into a mystery series. Not that I want her to have anybody else die, you know, in her department, but she makes for an interesting sleuth, but she's not the sleuth of the story, which is why we also get detective POVs, which I think definitely added to things. And her love interest in this story, it didn't turn into a romance-centric mystery. It was the perfect balance. He added to her life. And he was the perfect, the perfect character to play off of her intelligence. The things that she brought to the table, his mind matched it well. And that's what made for a really successful read. And then she also, it was a little frustrating reading her because she would get herself into dangerous circumstances. Like she is in danger in the book. The killer, bad things were actively happening to her or being threatened to happen to her, and yet she would still go a lot of places alone, and it did lead to her discovering information, and those things had to happen for the plot to go down the way that the author wanted it to. But it was a little frustrating to read her like doing things that weren't in her best interest because she's so intelligent. And we also met like a good group of her friends. So even if there wasn't one, no, I would still want her to be the main character, but maybe in each book, like one of her friends feels like the other main character, and we get things going on with her and maybe something happening in one of her friends' lives. We're calling the vlog here 2 mystery books, 4 stars, successes. Is the vlog a success? Maybe not, but it can only go up from here, I feel. If you're participating in Summerween, let me know what you're reading. If you have vlogs, if you're talking about your Summerween stuff anywhere, link us. We would all love to see. And let me know what you think I should read next because I would like your guidance. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.